Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another set of Roblox Forsaken reactions. Today we have two themes from JX1DX1. Don't entirely know what that is, but apparently nil.INCIDENT and Your Problem are from that. I know that Your Problem is the LMS of the first one, from what my understanding is from the context I was given. But Exotic and my executive producers wanted me to get to these, and I was given context as to what they are, when they happen, all of that. So I'm not completely in the dark for this one, but I haven't heard the songs, so I'm going to, and without further ado, let's go! I should have expected something ominous. I mean, the thumbnail was kind of a hint there, but... okay, it's got a little bit of a kick to it. Ooh, okay. A real kick. Why the dial-up tone? Kind of love that that's in there though. Kind of a fun choice for the sound design. And I love that it's on beat. Yeah, I could imagine getting chased to this in like a fever dream. But like, I'd be jamming too. I'd be like, oh no, don't catch me. Hold on. Stop chasing me. Got a headbang. I love that. That is super creative. And knowing the context of when this plays, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Like I said, I can imagine myself getting chased to it. Ooh, even a fun little end there too. So to make it clear with the context I was given, I was told that this was a chase theme, that the character is basically God, and that this whole relationship is kind of just that, you know, like I don't entirely know the personalities of any of these characters or if this song would reflect those characters well or not, but I like the vibe it's going for, and whether or not it actually fits the characters is definitely up to the people who play the game. But I saw the description and that they were like, I don't know if this really fits the characters, it's kind of hard to blend them, and it's like, that's fair. I can't necessarily blame that. I don't know how it should sound. I don't know what these characters' interactions are like, you know, aside from the overview I was given, which is just telling me who they are. It's like, okay, cool, but what does that do for the song's like actual composition? How does that reflect? I'm not positive. However, I think that this song is super creative in its own right, even if it doesn't fit the characters. I love that they're utilizing like the dial-up sound on beat as part of the sound design of the whole song. And I thought the progression was actually really fun too. There was enough variety in here that I didn't ever find myself getting bored, even though it was a loop for sure. It didn't get that, oh man, this is just the same thing twice sort of feeling that you get when you make a song that's just kind of mid. So I think that they did a really good job here. Whether or not they think that themselves, the composer here kind kind of nailed this sound, whatever they were going for. So I hope that a lot of people like it, because this is actually surprisingly well done. I think the reason that I like the way that they handled the dial-up and everything is just that it feels like the character is trying to connect, even though there's obviously an interruption there. And if you look at that as far as just a theoretical sort of relationship between the character who is a god and the player character, I assume, that kind of works. You know, what would a god be able to connect with a human on? Even if this was in like a monotheistic situation where this god created the people that they're torturing, I would suppose in this context, that doesn't necessarily mean that they understand those trials and tribulations of the mortal variants that they created. It gets into a weirdly theological discussion, and I'm not going to like dig into that here of like, ooh, will they, won't they, it doesn't matter, because it's really not about that. It's about that lack of connection, and I feel like there is something with that. The game title being Forsaken is making me think that there's something deeper along that line, and that there is some sort of a relationship stress between the character you are and this god character. Obviously, they're chasing you down. I assume you're not on great terms, but at the same time, I don't know what that is or what that even should sound like. Again, in context, that's very situational, so I can't make a decision on that. I can't make a call on it. I don't know how that's supposed to feel, but I love what this composer did with this song and how they approached this sound. To me, it's super creative how they handled the things like the sound design being in there and just allowing things to break a little bit, just showing through the regular theme with these little distortions in the track and making sure that it feels like it shouldn't belong there, and adds a little bit of stress, adds some tension. There's that sound design of just, ooh, I don't like how that sounds there necessarily, but more in the essence rather than the actual application, which they did very well in making it feel a little bit detached. It's really good. I don't know what Your Problem is going to sound like. I need to listen to that next, obviously, but if it's anything like this or even better, I'm really excited to listen. So let's go. Ooh. But still keeping that like distortion idea around. Yo. Yeah, it's heavy. Way more intimidating, way more chaotic. Damn. God, LMSs are far too short. I know they have to be short for what they are, but like, man, I wanted more of that. That was so intense. So much intensity in so little time. All right, this one took the other song, blew it out of the water, brought it back in, and blew it up in the water. Fucking Christ. I mean, the other one's still good. I still like what they were doing here. This throws you underneath so much pressure. There is so much happening all at once. If the side chaining wasn't happening here, that pulsating, that whoop, whoop, whoop sound, for those who don't know what that is, that's what that is. You parent it to like the kick in the song, the drums, and it will like dip the volume for the other stuff to kind of like make room for it. That's why it has that like little wobbly situation going on there in the mix. And that's super useful here for a song that is entirely too busy in the best way possible. Like, this has so much going on. The wall of noise that hits your ears is so overwhelming that if you didn't have something breaking that up, it would just be a straight line of with nothing else going on. And that's what makes this sound so interesting. The progression here was fantastic as well. It was a great use of adding the balance of tension in the chords and just keeping that structure feeling so ominous and oppressive the whole way through, adding on to the already oppressive pressure you're getting from all of that noise, and the voice lines at the beginning, like, oh, mwah, chef's kiss. I just love how the texture that adds and the intensity that adds onto everything else. It's like tapping you on the shoulder before you turn around and somebody shoots you in the face. There's just so much happening here all at once. And I love that that's what they went for. Again, knowing what this is for, the LMS, and the why the song is playing, the relationship of the two characters in this moment. I was told all of that. And yeah, having a song like this play when there's effectively two characters coming together in what I would only assume to be an affront to God in its own right, an abomination of its own name, is just like, hell yeah. It's the perfect reflection of that energy, something that is just fully chaotic and drowned in itself. There is no escape here, and you feel every essence, every little iota of that sensation. A sound where you are absolutely inundated with information and there is no discharge from the war. You are stuck here. You are trapped in this, and largely against your will from the context I could gather from the context I was given. It would feel right, I'm not sure exactly how those sorts of mergers happen in this game, obviously, but I feel like this is definitely not a consensual agreement. I feel like this is like a forced situation, a forced arrangement, and nobody wants to be involved here. It just has so much pressure. And again, they did such a great job at adding the chords to do that, because it is just a wash of noise. I mean, the chords, I'm surprised even broke their way through all of the other information that this song was throwing at you. It is just such a wall of sound that, once again, if that sidechaining was not present, I don't even know if I'd be able to tell that the notes were shifting. It was just so much, but also, fuck if that isn't the point, because it's gotta be, right? What an insane tone. Absolutely throws you against the wall, beats you to bloody death, and does not give a shit about you. And I feel like that's probably a little too close to the context for comfort there, but that's what it feels like, and they did a really good job at making that known. Don't know how accurate it is. Let me know in the comments below if I am close, but that's the feeling I'm getting out of it, so I hope I'm at least in the ballpark. So let me know in the comments below if I am, or if you want me to get to another song from any other Roblox property, or this one. Doesn't really matter. Leave in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Exotic did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, or you can force me to listen to whatever you want. Doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's guaranteed request. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!